As much fun as it is to pretend you can't hear your wife sometimes, hearing loss really isn't anything to joke about. So today we're going to talk about shooting muffs. And my rant on this fine day is brought to you by the wonderful folks at 5 Hour Energy. Thank you guys. Today I have several different examples of different shooting muffs in different price categories that might allow you to make a better informed decision on what is important to you. Starting off, we're going to go with this little pair here. This pair is a Duck Commander passive set. This is the cheapest on the table. These were about $13. They're pretty slim. They fold up into a tiny package, and they have a noise dampening of 31, which means they're pretty spectacular. You don't hear much. That's a good thing. That's a bad thing. If you're on a public range and a ceasefire is called, might you miss it? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But if that's where your budget point is, these will certainly keep your ears protected. Are they comfortable? Yes and no. They're not awful. Are they wonderful when it's hot? No, they're not. This is very plasticky and cheap and hot and gross. Let's do kind of a very scientific test here. That is not overly soft or comfortable. If you're wearing glasses, do you get the greatest seal? No, you don't. But do they work? Absolutely. Are they affordable for anybody? So really, these are a solid choice. Very honestly, a solid choice. They're slim enough you can shoot a rifle, they won't get knocked off your head, which is embarrassing. Next, we have a step up into electronic muffs. These are Walker duals. And I get the application they're made for. They're made for hunters. So you're not doing a whole lot of shooting. But quite honestly, I haven't found many situations where these don't hurt my ears if I'm shooting anything other than handguns or if you're indoors. These work indoors, outdoors, but they're drawbacks. These are outdoor only. If you're indoors, you're having a bad day with them. Is the magnification on them from a sound standpoint great? Yeah, you can turn them up pretty good. A lot of background noise, a lot of hiss, but you can hear things. These have a dampening of 24. I can't say they're overly comfortable. They're made a little better than these guys, which isn't saying a whole lot. You've got a little bit more cushioning. It's a little higher grade cushioning. You've got dual volume controls. Why, I don't really know you'd need it, but you've got it. And the pads are still kind of this plasticky foam stuff. Don't fold up real small, but it's a solid entry-level electronic earmuff. They're okay. Would I recommend them? Like I said, I know some hunters that really like them. To me, I didn't really think they were that great. They are nice and slim though. This pair here is a Walker Razor. It is an electric muff. My wife loved it, so I got them for her. These have a dampening level of, I believe it is 23. They're extremely slim. They fold up really nice. And it met her criteria because they're cute. Yeah, I don't quite understand that either. Have dual mics, so they pick up things pretty well on both sides. Sound is okay. You do get some distortion. You do get some hiss as you turn them up. That's kind of where most of these lower line electronic muffs seem to fall into. These guys were about $65. She likes them, so anything I can do to get her to dig it, I'm fine with. Overly comfortable. So-so. They have a little better construction than what these guys do, in my opinion. They're a bit more comfortable. The top headband is a little more comfortable. They're very slimline. They're not bad. At the price point, they're not bad. It's tough to find anything at that category that's really mind-blowing. All right. We also have the good old-fashioned foamy earplugs. They'll work, but again, they kind of fall into this category where you're not going to hear a whole lot. That's a good and a bad thing. If you're outside shooting, if you're inside shooting, Rangemaster calls a ceasefire, you could miss it. If you're outside and there's any number of things happening, you could miss it. So this is the set that I use, and I kind of use these in tandem with these little guys we'll get to in a minute. This is a pair of Msa Supreme Pro-X electronic muffs. Dual microphone. And I gotta say, I really very much enjoy these guys. They are probably the most comfortable pair of shooting muffs I've ever tried. And that's several different ways. The fatigue that your ears get from these is minimal, just due to how the noise cancellation works. These are very misunderstood online. If you go into a lot of the cool gun guy forums, oh, the rating's too low, you're gonna go deaf if you use those. Well, the rating scale on all this stuff is open to a lot of interpretation. And then there's also things like the attack rate, which is how quickly each one of these will dampen the sounds that they hear, that they're cutting out, that frequency. These are extremely fast and they're extremely efficient. And not only is the headband very comfortable, these cups are fantastic. If you have glasses, you get an amazing seal on them. These cups just make wearing these almost a complete afterthought. You don't even know you've got them on. They fold up pretty small. The sound quality is great. You can hook up an iPad or iPod or something to them if you want. It's got a jack for it. I haven't. I don't quite get what you'd want to. I know there's some new ones that Bluetooth it in. Again, to me, it seems like a bad idea. Now, I've never had a problem with these outside, whether pistol, rifle, shotgun, whatever. What I will say is inside, I find them a little bit lacking. So what I did was I ordered these little guys from Amazon. And it's just a little set of earbuds that have a pass-through on them for certain vocal frequencies. And I just turn this up a notch or two more than I normally would with these in my ears. I can still hear everything perfectly fine, but it doesn't matter what I'm shooting at an indoor range, which can be brutal, I'm comfortable. So that's the compromise I've made here. Would that work with these or these as well? Yeah, probably would. But you're really cranking those up and you're getting a ton of just hiss and white noise coming through as well. So it's kind of a catch-22 on all of them. These, oh man, what is it called? Eargasm. Yeah. So I think they work really well. I've never had my ears ringing afterwards. I do have that naturally anyway. But this combination, I'm very pleased with. Now, the big elephant in the room, price tag on these guys. Yeah, it's not cheap. Depending upon what sale you can find, they're right around $300 to $325. That's not great, but they're built amazingly well. They're very comfortable. They're very slim. They work very well. The battery lasts forever. And I really have no complaints on them, other than, yeah, I wish they weren't as expensive as what they were. And maybe they came in their own case. I didn't have to buy a case for them. So this breaks down several different levels of hearing protection. Sadly, these are the only ones made in the US. These guys are made in Sweden, China, I don't even know where. They don't even bother to put it on those. So, how much is your hearing worth to you? Hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care of yourselves and each other.